Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and you're listening to No BS Job Search Advice Radio. Quite a game yesterday, wasn't it? Back and forth, picking apart one defense or another. Oh man, what a game. Coming down to the last 1 minute of regulation. Seattle marching down the field. Great play. Will New England have another David Tyree moment? Incredible game. So I'm going to talk with you today about some of the lessons we can learn from job hunting by reviewing that game. I think there are a couple that are really memorable and some that may not have been quite as obvious to you. Now, this podcast is brought to you by consultingassignments.com, which is a site where you can find and fill consulting assignments, full-time consulting positions, temp to permanent contract hire opportunities anywhere in the world completely free. Posting a job or a resume is free. Searching jobs and resumes is also free, as is the ability to contact one another. The only thing the site charges for is if you're going to feature a job or a resume, it is a whopping $10 for 30 days. And if you're going to feature more than one position, they'll take the cost down from there. So again, the site is consultingassignments.com. The other sponsor is Audible. And if you go to audibletrial.com/thebiggamehunter and sign up for a free trial, Audible will give you a free audiobook as part of that trial. And you know you like audio, you listen to my podcast, right? You listen to this one, maybe you listen to Job Search Radio or No BS Hiring Advice Radio. There's a lot of stuff that you listen to by audio. So again, audibletrial.com/thebiggamehunter. So quite a game. And there were some great moments in there from a job search perspective. I just want to get my notes over here in front of me because I've been doing this kind of a show now, either in written form or as a podcast for quite a few years. And this year's were memorable. Now, I'm not going to go through all the stuff related to how both these organizations draft so well and pick players out that fit their system. That's irrelevant to you as a job hunter. Here are the important points. Now, I wrote this first one down during the first quarter of the game yesterday when Brady threw an interception. And the comment I wrote down was about mistakes, because mistakes could be incredibly costly. Now, we learned how costly they were with 40 seconds left on the clock and Seattle 1 yard away from winning the game. Yes, some people will judge a mistake. I personally don't. I think this is the way they play their game. And at the end of the day, if the play works, then Pete Carroll is considered a genius. It didn't work, and we'll come to that a little bit later. But the lesson is two-sided. Number one is how costly mistakes can be in your job search. Have a spelling error in your resume, a mistake. Not doing things to get yourself ready or find out about the people that you're interviewing with. Mistake. Mistakes are costly throughout your job search. But here's the big lesson I think I learned yesterday. And I was stunned when I heard Malcolm Butler, who intercepted that pass yesterday, as he was interviewed on the field after the game. Butler is asked about what he saw, what prompted him to make that play. And I just want to read the quote because it was incredible to me. He says, "It all comes down to preparation." He knew from that formation what play they were going to run. They had watched enough film. They had practiced it. He knew the play they were going to run, and he was ready for it. Folks, if you take nothing away from all the work I do to prepare you for your job search, because I believe the skills needed to find a job are different than the ones needed to do it, and that most of you don't know those other skills and you fumble around and it's costly to you. Well, this is the magic bullet here. This is the one that says it all comes down to preparation. It's learning what you need to. Now, the most obvious place here is interviewing. When you interview, how well prepared are you for that interview? Do you have an idea of the questions that are going to be asked? Do you rehearse those questions with someone? What are you doing in order to get yourself ready for those magic moments where you're going to need to deliver the goods? Now, for you as a job hunter, I can't stress to you enough about how important that is, because that's what Butler says as he's walking off the field, the hero almost having been the GOAT. Now, for him, you have to remember, 2 plays before, he's beaten on a pass where the receiver, Jerome Kearse, is on his back, bobbling the ball. He's kicking the ball up in the air, flailing all over the place, pulls it in, runs a couple of yards before he's tackled. It looks like Butler is going to be the player that cost them the game. The Super Bowl. This is the thing that every player lives for every day of his career. And it almost cost him. But there it was. His preparation, his willingness to act on that preparation wins a game. So I can't teach you anything more than that. I'm going to drill that one to you over and over again in all my podcasts and all my videos. You got to be prepared. Now, there are other great things that occurred during this game and after, I have to say. And one of the great moments, frankly, from a job hunting perspective, is when you screw up or thought to have screwed up, you take it. And Pete Carroll, after that game, he's the coach of the Seattle Seahawks. He stood in that press conference being beaten up for that decision to pass the ball instead of hand it off to Marshawn Lynch. Now, I thought Lynch was wonderful in what he said afterwards, because the reporters are baiting him. Were you surprised by that call to pass instead of hand it off? And he said words to the effect of, I wasn't surprised. We're a team. We do things as a team. He didn't sell his coach down the river. His coach had made a tough decision at the end of the first half. 6 seconds left on the clock. Most teams aren't willing to risk another play at that point, because with 6 seconds and you're on the 3, 4, 5 yard line, it's very easy for your quarterback to be sacked, an interception to occur, the clock run out while a play is going on, a receiver's tackle before he can get out of bounds or before they can call a timeout. A lot of things happen. And that decision he made to go for it, it worked. He scored. He threw a pass. He had his quarterback throw a pass that scored a touchdown. I get it. That's the way they play in their team. At the end of the game, he makes a similar tough call. He doesn't hand the ball off to Lynch. He passes at that point, and someone makes a great play. So the reporters are all over Coach Carroll, inferring criticism, and he takes it. He stands in there. And frankly, for you as a job hunter, there are going to be interviews that you go on where you screw up. You say something stupid. And the recruiter calls you up afterwards. It could be the corporate or the third-party recruiter calls you up and says words to the effect of, "What were you thinking of? Seriously, what were you thinking of? Where are your brains?" And you have to just stand in there and say, I made a decision at the time. I thought this was the right thing to say or to do. Obviously, I was wrong. And that's what Pete Carroll really did yesterday. He stood there and took the criticism and responded by explaining why he made the decision he made, and fully aware now of the consequence of that decision. And at the end of the day, you know, lives with that decision. His team lives with that decision. They lose. Horrible outcome. So close to victory. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory is the way someone might remark about it. Now, there's a lot of other little lessons, but those are really the key ones, I think, to this game. There are things like, taking what's given to you. New England, very simply moved the ball consistently. No big plays really to speak of throughout the game. No 50-yard passes down the field for touchdowns or big gains. Most of their offense was small plays repeatedly, and they won. Now, for you as a job hunter, the message is really it's the little things more often than not that make the difference between you getting the offer and you not getting the offer. And you have to do all the little things right. Now, I've got a lot of those little things covered on my website, thebiggamehunter.us. So, videos, podcasts, easy-in articles, a whole bunch of stuff. So you really want to go over to my site and go exploring. But it's little things that really matter along the way that add up to victory. Now, here's another one that I think is really significant, and that is, New England is down by 10 points. It's about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I see a look on Brady's face where he goes, I can't believe it's happening to me again, where I've got a great team and we're not able to finish it by winning this game. And did he get upset? Well, I don't know what was going on inside of him. I just know that he kept going about his business, methodically doing what was necessary in order to, get that win. You don't score 2 touchdowns with one pass, you score one at a time. And they moved down the field methodically, scored a first touchdown that got them within 3 points, and then eventually moved down the field a second time and scored another touchdown that gives them the victory. For you as the job hunter, there are times that you're going to feel defeated. You're going to feel awful about how the search is going. And at the end of the day, for you as the job hunter, you have to think about what are the steps, what are the methodical steps in my game plan that's going to allow me to win this. Yeah, it's okay to feel frustrated, but you can't live with your frustration. At the end of the day, your job is to get a job. And your upset, your unhappiness, your sadness are going to be the very things that are going to cause you to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. So those are a lot of the basic tips, and there's lots of little ones in addition, but I just want to make sure you got some of the basic lessons of job hunting that came through in that game. So that's my advice for this show. I hope you found it helpful. Like I said earlier, if you did, come over to my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. Go over to the site, go exploring, because there's plenty of information there that'll help you find work more quickly and help you learn all the little things that will help you land work more quickly. How to answer all those tough interview questions, how to do your job search well. My books and guides to job hunter are available there. You can pay what you want for them. I prefer it if you paid something, but if right now life is a struggle and you can't afford it, just download them and come back at a later time and pay me for them. A lot of good information at thebiggamehunter.us, so go exploring them. A few final things. First of all, if your current firm is trying to hire someone, send me an email at the address jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. Let me know who to contact and whether I should mention your name. I'd love to help your firm staff positions. Finally, if we're not connected on LinkedIn, send me a connection request at linkedin.com/in/thebiggamehunter. I accept connection requests from people worldwide, except if you look like a spammer or scammer, except if you're a third-party recruiter. And also, follow the Big Game Hunter Incorporated, because you'll get information about the jobs I'm recruiting for, plus new videos as they're released. This is Jeff Altman. Hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the show. Take care.